He's going to send more people on the comment boards. Because you remember, one of the tactics of the Sia is to have you commit self-destruction.
Yep.
So they have plausible deniability. So, you know, it's just a tactic. But that's why we got the scripture. We got the faith. We got Yahweh Shai. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. We'd also like to give double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And we'd like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3. You know, we also like to say Shalak Mashapatyam on any agents, any agent provocateurs, any demons, anybody trying to dig a pit for us to fall therein. Okay, so we say Shalak Mashapatyam on the enemies, okay, of the ministry. All right, we also like to say the Wadiyah Bashim Shai Bashim Kakwadash for putting on our spirits to come out to the highways and byways as we were commanded to. And if you didn't know, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those scattered abroad according to the diaspora. And as a fun fact, we're actually on site right now. We're in the area of the first underground railroad station for upstate Rochester, New York. You know, so we're gonna get in the scriptures. We are in different times. Now we're in the times of applying wisdom. You know, showing yourselves as men, as it says in Isaiah, I believe the 48th chapter. Okay, but let's just get right into it, and we're gonna roll in the spirit. Adon Ratazah.
Well, Ecclesiastes?
Yes.
Okay, excuse me. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter. Do you have the correct job? You got that?
Ecclesiastes 3.
Yeah, we're gonna start right at the top.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right, there's a time for everything. There was a time for wicked Israelites to be looked at as the truth. There was a time for Esau, Edom to be given, you know, the authority of the scriptures, you know, but now, now our time is, you know, there's a time of persecution. There's a time of blessings, you know, there's a time of protection. So we're in different times now, okay? So you got to understand that we operate off the time of the Lord, okay? Yep. So you got a lot of other camps that are still trying to operate off their time. They're still trying to operate off their next Passover. You got to understand the times. It says measure the time diligently. So you got to read the room. You got to read the spiritual room. Keep going.
A time to be born.
Yep, or time to be born again. You know, there was a time for you literally be born. We all were born for our own purpose. Jeremiah, it said, I knew thee before the belly, okay? And then there's a time to be spiritually born where you got awoken to this truth. That's why Yahweh Shai told Nicodemus that you got to be born again. So if you're not born again, but you only identify as being an Israelite, you got to watch what spirit you're in. And you got a lot of Israelites that are not in the right spirit, especially the times that we're in, but you're also going to see that more, okay? The times that we are in, if you're following a guy who all he's doing is debating and promoting his music, that is not a leader for the people. That's a boy. Mm-hmm. That's a boy in a man's body, okay? So the times that we are in is not time for you to be chasing pussy, man. Just caught up in her shiny ass dipping out of the pool, okay? Because we're spiritual warriors. So being a spiritual warrior, you prioritize your attention. So our attention is to be on point, to be prudent, to be spiritually prepared. A lot of our people are playing right now within the truth and without the truth. Keep going.
A time to be born and a time to die.
Yep, and that's literal, okay? Now, we spiritually are dead to this world, but you got the enemy that knows he's got a short time. This is why back during the Roman persecution, what you call martyrdom was a known act of faith amongst our people, where we were being put to death for our belief. Yep. And are we in Rome all over again?
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
We were persecuted, tortured. That's why Apostle Paul said we were set up last. They would burn us, when the sun went down, they would use us as light at their dinners. Okay, so this is deadly serious. All right, you have an enemy that is attempting to kill you, man.
Yep.
Not just your character, okay, not you just from society, but you as an individual. Did not they murder Stephen?
Yeah. Yep.
We're at a underground railroad station right now because Jake was fleeing Esau's persecution from chattel slavery, and you're seeing the slavery come back through immigration, through policies. He's Nero's cutting off Section 8 housing,
Yep.
which is going to force more individual states to rely on borrowing for their budget because the federal government is cutting them off. So now he could dictate where the influx of people go in a state, mass exiting, like Esau was exiting to like Oklahoma or something, or Arkansas. They were like, we don't want you no more.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Out there in like the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of things are happening in Rome, and it's gonna affect Jake's everyday living. So if you think that you're just gonna be chilling this is the beginning of Jacob's trouble. This is what makes it Jacob's trouble. Jacob being in trouble. You got the benefits, you got the welfare, and now they're cutting it off. You know? You got the freedom of religion, then you follow the false prophet, legally change your name. Now he's got your ass in the database. Okay?
Yep. That's right.
Don't be letting people just come up to you, man. Don't be just being the neighborhood prophet.
Right.
Thinking you just gotta be in everyone's business and laying hands and fixing things, man. You better fix yourself.
Right.
You better watch who's around you, you know? Watch cars that are parked outside of your house that ain't normally parked there. See, Esau wants you to be lax. He wants you to think that it ain't that serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would want if you I want you to think that I'm not ready. You see? What did Art of War Sun Tzu, when thou art weak, when thou art strong, appear weak. Keep going.
A time to plant and a time to pluck up.
Yep. Plant the word, pluck up, a famine of the word. Oh, it says if the Father didn't plant you, you'll be rooted out.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, when you think about a root, now if a root is in the ground, it's not easily to be pulled. So those that are not planted by the Lord, they're gonna get ripped out. Mm-hmm. You know? Hey, Sakari's done, man.
Through.
They're actually gone. They're done. It's over. Okay? The shepherd got smitten and the nigga ran to TikTok. It's over. All right? When you really look at these things, you got to actually put things in like, wait a minute, let me let everything settle in. Because things start happening so quick that you kind of go on to the next subject and you like, wait a minute, that really happened.
Yeah.
That really went down. You know? Something happening to a brother or in the body like that. That really happened. We got to assess. We got to adjust. Keep going. Call it out, brother.
Ecclesiastes, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die.
Yep.
A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Hey, there's a time for Esau to be allowed to plant agents.
Yeah.
And there's going to come a time where the Lord roots them out. Didn't Yahushua say, I know since the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord got everything. While we're being watched, let's get Psalms, what's that, 37, 32? We got our initial foundation precepts, you know, or at least the direction where we want to go in. But hey, I don't be tripping. Good, Esau, watch me. Take a picture from whatever you think my good side is, you know? What you got, brother?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 14, verse 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me.
So they're laying snares. He's laying stumbling blocks. He has the resources to fulfill these scriptures.
Yeah.
That's the point. He has the ability to dig a ditch for you. Now, that don't necessarily mean shovel and dirt, but he has the ability to put you in a graven situation, okay? Where life or death is being brought before you, and they want death. Keep going.
And the gins of the workers of iniquity.
And a gin is like a trap for a bird, if I'm not mistaken. So there's traps, there's snares, there's deep ditches. That's all this is being laid before us. And men have gotten trapped in that through finance, a bag, okay? Things of that nature. But now that money ain't working, now he's gotta change the approach. It's like a hunter. It said, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolf. What is a wolf? It's a hunter. What he say in Pulp Fiction? Oh, you sending the wolf?
Yep.
That's all you had to say. That's all you had to let me know. So, you know, and Esau, he got nicknames like that too. You know?
He does.
Keep going.
Let the wicked fall into their own nets.
Exactly. Let the wicked fall, though. So at the end of the day, we're not stirred up at night with paranoia. The persecution should build your faith, because after everything else is done, all you got is faith. You close your eyes, it's like an animal, like a feline. A feline will close its eyes in front of you because it means it trusts you. So we trust the Lord. That's why we could go to sleep at night. We're prudent. We're not paranoid. We're watching our surroundings. We carry ourselves in a certain manner, you know, our diet, our mental health, you know, we're applying all these things because we're in a spiritual war, even though he's coming at us carnally. But there be more with us than with them. Keep going.
Willest that I withal escape.
Yep, I will escape. Because the things that we go through are common to man, but the Most High, through Yahushua, is faithful to make a way for us to escape.
Right.
So we're not fretting, okay? We're not worried. I will not fear what man could do unto me. Now, did you get that Psalms 37, 32?
Yep.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then back Ecclesiastes.
Psalms 37 and verse 32.
How could you go to camp right now and just listen to someone telling you to wear pants? Like the times that we're in, what is valuable information or edification that's going to guide the sheep towards Yahushua? Okay?
Right.
The times that we're in, our enemy knows he has but a short time. So now the times that we're in, hey, these guys are they're not looking at as so men of the Lord now.
Yep.
You know, it's like imagine people ignoring an umbrella salesman until it starts to rain. Oh now you want an umbrella. Mm-hmm. You know? And they're out here just talking about chalk until the water washes. Now what? People don't want chalk. They need an umbrella.
Yep.
See, before what you were doing was working, but now that shit don't work in this time.
Psalms, book of Psalms 37 and verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous.
Right, the wicked's watching the righteous. He's watching the righteous, but watching them to do what? Keep going.
It says, and seeketh to slay him.
So he wants to kill. The thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yep.
You ought to understand, he's taking it there on you. He wants to kill you. He wants to destroy you. Okay? He wants to continue in power. And these other camps, bro, they're an enemy, man. They're an enemy for siding with a common enemy that we have.
Yep.
How are you siding with somebody who thinks he could get his birthright back from you? That's like a nigga thinking he could make it and then get out before they get him.
Right.
You
right.
playing with fire. Will
Right.
we pity a snake charmer when you're bitten? Esau ain't nothing to play with, man.
Keep going.
Was there more in that?
It's a little more.
All right.
Verse 33 says, the Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor
Right. Oh, it said, leave him, my fault, leave him in his hand. That means he'll be able to put his hands on us. That's what when you're reading these scriptures, you got to envision the situation or scenario that you're going to be in for this precept to be fulfilled.
Right.
What kind of situation are you going to be in? It said to deliver him from his hand.
Right.
Get your hands off me.
Right.
But that means he's going to be able to touch you. That's what we're getting at, man. Yeah, we have faith. Yeah, we believe. But will you have faith when you're in a situation where you have to believe you'll make it out of it?
Right.
That's what you got to realize. That's how you got to start looking at wisdom and faith. To where, yeah, you have faith, you'll be protected, but will you also remain faithful when it feels like you're unprotected?
Right, exactly, right. like the Lord can put you in certain scenarios to to the point where you pray for this, so I'm gonna put you through it to overcome it.
Yep.
You pray for more patience, then He can put you in a spot where you gotta apply more patience.
You pray for protection, you're gonna be in a situation you need to be protected.
Right. That's right. And it reads Psalms 37 and 33: the Lord will not leave him in His hand, nor condemn him when he is judged.
Right, because they're gonna play the blame game.
Yep.
That's why he's called the devil. And that's why we call you Jake's devil worshipers. And ye are of your father the devil too. All you sellout ass niggas, man. And Esau will always use our own against us.
Yep.
Back in the, what you got?
I got a quick one.
Yep.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 17.
It's like I got so much to say, but it's on my spirit to let the precepts roll.
Psalm 17:13, it says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him."
What that means, he's gonna have to be doing something with a plan to have it be disappointed.
Right.
So you gotta wrap your head around this man is in a think tank against you.
Yep.
So you got a lot of Jakes that, like Elder Apostle Gabar say, they don't know what they're involved in.
Yep.
They came into this with their girlfriend. Now she's your wife.
Yep.
You know? They came into this because they were able to play their mixtape at Passover.
Yep.
You know, they came in because their friend was doing it.
Yeah.
And they have nothing else to do. Yo, it says it's been better for them not to have known.
Yeah, they didn't count the cost.
And now you're not counting the cost.
Psalm 17:13, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him and cast him down."
That means he has to be risen up against you to get cast down.
Right.
Like how he raised up against Abel. He raised up against Abel, but now he won't be able.
Right.
Because the Lord's going to cast him down. That's the times we're in, man. It's being spiritual warriors.
Right.
Show yourselves as men and spiritual warriors. Okay?
Right. And it reads,
He wants you out here just fucking coochie hunting.
yeah.
He wants you to go to the club and say, all praise the Most High with bottle girl service.
Yeah.
Do you know you got guys doing that?
Yep.
Do you know you got guys in the club that have bottle girls with their punk ass camp name on it? Who's a so-called priest?
Man. Niggas,
And you
man.
gonna be ready? Come on, man. Jake's not ready. Jake's making mirth right now. Jake ain't ready.
Yeah.
Jake ain't ready, man. Jake's gonna be afraid. Jake's afraid of Esau.
Yeah.
You got this latest publicity stunt by the ISUPK where they're on some hill wearing all black shouting, and then they posted and said, look at all the white people's faces. And I was just thinking, you know, when you actually go to war, a kingdom is not necessarily so worried about civilians.
Right.
You have to take the king out, not just the civilian.
Right.
So a lot of these camps, they focus their energy on the civilians that have really nothing to do with what's going on.
Just like chess.
Exactly.
The game's not over till the king is down.
Exactly.
Right.
Because you could take all the pawns, but guess what? You still got knights, rooks, bishops, queens, okay? And those do damage. Yeah?
Psalm 17:13,
But
and
we still watch these people. No, my bad. But we're still watching them. We still watch these pawns, because guess what? In a game of chess, a pawn could turn into a rook or a queen or a bishop or a knight. Because anybody potentially is an agent, but there's a bigger purpose what we're getting at.
That's right. That's why it says be circumspect.
Right.
You know, be not as fools, but as wise.
And when you think of the word agent, you shouldn't just think of a male figure.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
You got to think about women.
Yep.
I see Federal Bureau investigation agents that are black women. You know, they always got the straight, short hair, you know?
And it reads, "Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword."
So we're going to need to be delivered from this weapon that's set up against us. There is a weapon. There is a nation that's identified as a weapon, brothers. Esau's identified as a sword, bro.
Yes.
You got to pray that this sword will not be able to deliver you to death. And then it's so raw that you even got training videos to protect you from a knife-wielding assailant.
Yeah.
This nigga hire Jake to try to take you out with his blessing.
Yeah.
It says, touch not my anointed. That's why we need divine intervention, because the level that Edom is going to attempt prophetically, we are going to need the heavens, the armies, the hosts of heavens to come down to protect us.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's like, Noah built the ark, but the Lord had to seal it, remember?
Yeah.
Because if the Lord didn't seal it, they would have broke that down. He had to seal it. It said he had to shut them in. So no matter what we do at the end of the day, we're going to need divine intervention.
That's right.
They threw who they call Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They threw them in a fire. What out of all the training, I don't care if you fucking train like Ninja Assassin, my nigga. Like, you remember he was pouring the water.
Yeah.
I don't care all that shit.
Yep.
You get thrown in some fire, bro. You're gonna need divine intervention.
Yes, bro. Straight up. Real quick, it's Psalm 17 and verse 8. It says, "Keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings."
Yeah, the chariots. There be more with us than with them.
That's right.
There be more with us than with them.
That's right.
But they will showcase themselves carnally that there's more of them, because prophecy of them coming in like a flood has to be fulfilled. But Yahushai, Peter walked on water with Yahushai.
That's right.
So we'll be buoyant to the flood. And the Lord gonna put on our spirit whatever we gotta do. If we get hemmed up, we go with him. However the Lord's gonna deem it fit. But you gotta understand that this is also a part of the truth. That's what we're telling you, the truth.
Right.
We're not just telling Sister Sarah that she can buy a blue head wrap today and get a gold one for free. We're not just telling Brother Obadiah that in 6 months he'll be officer of 50.
Right.
Did you see Bishop Nathaniel said he thinks we got 20 to 30 more years here?
That was fucking crazy.
But guess what? Guess what though, brothers? There was a false prophet in Jeremiah 28 that said that we would be delivered in 2 years.
Yep.
And because he said that, the Lord said, nah, in 70. So because he said 30, Adon Ratazah, it'll be less than 30 months.
Right.
You know?
Real, man.
That's how the Lord works. You want to put a time on it? You know, I'm telling you. So it's like, hey, best thing to do is not to try to war with Yahweh Shemel Shai, man.
Yeah.
Because he will F you up within that. So you said 2 years, now we're going to make it 70. Like I remember I was little, I got put on punishment, and for 1 week, he said, now it's 2 weeks. And I was like, man, now it's a month.
Damn, yep.
Then I had to shut up. Had to sit my ass down for 30 days.
Damn.
See?
As a kid, that's agony.
You know? So how much more the sons of Israel?
Right.
That's what the children of Israel goes into. If you sisters didn't know, children of Israel means Bunyam.
That's right.
Bunyam Shal Yasharallah.
Right.
Sons of Israel. So that the number one target is the Israelite man. Because hypothetically, that's Egypt. Why did they take out the men and not the women? Because man bears seed. So if they want to take out us to get their birthright back, that's why they ain't got no problem popping Eve and procreating their seed within her, and hence why you got the wheat and the tares. Okay?
Psalm 17 and verse 9. It says, "From the wicked that oppress me."
The wicked that oppress me, authority with cruelty. Okay? So now you read this and say, so more oppression is coming. I potentially will be in his hands. Yep. But it's not like you just woke up and he said, what do you grab you like this? Remember, he's no, like literally a decree legally with, what are they, Troop E. You know, you got the New York State troopers, one of their troops are called Troop E. That's Troop Edom.
Troop E, that's right.
So when they send a troop against you, remember a troop, but he shall overcome at the last. So they want to bring troops in her. Literally troops, man. They want to bring troops against spiritual men that are praying to fast more, read more, study more, be a brother more. You know? What do? Get a couple push-ups and pull-ups in? Try to intermittent fast? You know, eat some frankincense, right? Drink raisin water? Right. What we really doing? So really, what's the threat here? What is the reasoning for the level of the force that you want to bring upon us? It proves that this is the truth. Right. It proves that this is the biggest threat. Because if Ishmael was really a threat, there would be no more beef patties and white teas on the corner anymore. Ishmael, if 911
Right.
was really his threat, then we wouldn't be having Ishmael out here like that.
Straight up.
Look at the FBI director now. That nigga, you seen him?
Nice.
He looks like an Ishmaelite.
Oh wow.
But he won't release the files for the math teacher that randomly receives a $70 million mansion in NYC. You know what I'm talking about? Epstein. He used to be a math teacher.
Oh shit! Wow.
Then randomly, now he gets a $70 million mansion in an island. Come on, man.
All set up,
Come on, man.
And it says, Psalm 17 and 9. It says, from the wicked that oppress me, from the deadly enemies who compass me about.
A deadly enemy. Okay? This isn't an individual that is going to shake your hand and say, okay, we let the aggression out.
Right.
These are individuals, these are missions that they're being commanded to complete. Okay? They have assassinations attempts. Matter of fact, we're not too far from the street where Malcolm X held his last speech before he went to wherever and got assassinated.
Yeah.
His last place that he went before that was Rochester.
Yep.
Okay? So this man's known for assassination attempts.
And it reads verse 10. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly.
Yep. Very proud.
Very. They have now compassed us in our steps.
See?
They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy.
That's a predator.
Right.
Then Isaiah 59, they are as a prey, but it said, I send you forth as sheep.
Yes.
Isn't a sheep a prey compared to grievous wolves?
Yes.
So a wolf and a lion, but wait, it said he set himself down as a lion?
Yep.
But guess what? Don't it say judgment waiteth as a lion?
Yep. Yeah.
See? You know?
Right.
Then you just got this new pope that came into office. They try to say he related to Alizé. They see that he's supposed to be Haitian.
Yeah.
I said,
he's American.
Yeah.
American pope, the first American pope.
There's something with that.
Yeah.
Because Babylon's going to be in the picture with prophecy, man. This is all going to be centered around prophecy. Okay? And then with the MOTB, you got the scarcity, you got the looting, you got he's using the race card.
Yep.
Guess what? As Trump is deporting so-called immigrants, guess who he's allowing to come to America? White Africans that are being persecuted in Africa.
Oh, wow.
So Africans that are illegal, they're not American citizens, but because they're Edomites, he's allowing them to come here for protection, but he's kicking out Jake.
Wow.
Because they came here illegally. That's the reverse. He played the Uno reverse race card.
Yeah.
That's to rouse Jake up. He wants, but it says Judah shall be roused up. So he wants you roused up so he has a reason to come down the way he is.
Yeah.
He has to create poverty. He has to make you into a weapon. He needs to weaponize Jake. He needs to make Jake seem as a threat, and then he's got to use this as the motivation to create that threat.
Yeah.
That's why John Mark Reiser, the male one, is set up. You know, he has to create these threats. That's why back in the day, y'all know the Gadite Geronimo? No, Sitting Bull.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why Sitting Bull got put to death? Because Esau believed that a Sitting Bull had these isms.
Yeah.
No, because ism means a doctrine or a belief. But he had these beliefs that Esau claimed that Sitting Bull was teaching Gad that soon a prophet will be raised up amongst them to deliver them from Edom. So he went and killed Sitting Bull to stop him from motivating the people.
Yep.
So we're the biggest threat. Okay?
That's how Esau get down, you know? It says he's going to come in like a flood.
Exactly.
You know?
Troops.
And it reads Psalm 17 and 12. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey.
Lion, wolf, okay? You gotta look at these animals. It says, look at the beasts of the earth and they'll teach thee. How a wolf is loyal to who? It's Alpha.
Yep.
Delta.
Delta Force, yeah.
Alpha Force, Delta. Delta meaning like a stream.
Yeah.
That's teaming use that. Blitzkrieg. Yep. They're gonna stream in on you.
Yep.
Okay? Like they remember they assassinated Judas the Black Messiah?
Yeah.
Fred Hampton?
Yeah, yep.
They assassinated him. That was a good ass movie.
Yeah.
He had a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Yep.
But even, and then what did the F to the B to the I say? If there's ever another black Messiah, we created him. Nate is a black Messiah, and they created him.
Yeah.
All General Yohana is another persona of Al Sharpton when he was younger.
Yep.
When you watch him, when you watch Al Sharpton when he was younger, you know, he looked like Eddie Murphy from Vampires in Brooklyn,
Yep.
but he had the same spirit that Yohana has. Okay?
Yep. Yeah.
Don't it say, thy leaders shall cause thy people to err? Don't it say they are led as a flock to the slaughter? Don't it say that the shepherds shall not pity them? Man, hey, I don't give a fuck. A nigga coming up, excuse my language, smiling. Watch that nigga, man.
Right.
Keep your distance, bro. Stay over there. Sister too, put your beach chair over there. Come on.
For real.
And you should want that. Where we at?
And it one more verse. And it reads Psalm 17 and 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in his secret places. Full circle. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him.
Yeah, read it again. I just wanted to fact check myself about Sitting Bull.
Okay.
But let's read that. There's some meat right there.
Psalm 17 and 12, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey.
Like a lion that's greedy. Do you know that lions can be so greedy that they'll throw up because they ate so much?
Damn.
So now imagine an Edomite that wants to just kill so much.
Right.
To where he's just drenched in your blood.
Yeah.
That means he wants to go overkill.
Yeah.
He wants to overkill. Like they shoot Emmett Till's. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, well, it's like it says that blood to him is like wearing a garment. I believe it's that in Psalms.
Well, blood is nothing to him.
Yeah.
But he's also in Isaiah referred to as a bloody garment.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Also in Isaiah.
And it says
And Shalom, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Bashem Kakadash Barakatham, to the brothers and the few sincere sisters, and Shalak Mashapayim on any agents,
Right.
any agent provocateurs, any wicked niggas or niggettes or heathens trying to plot against this ministry that hell cannot prevail against.
Yep,
all right?
that's right.
So as we bless, we also curse now. Okay?
That's right.
And that's just on my spirit to say that. So you watching us, but you don't know the Father, all right? Yahweh Bashem Shai is watching us all.
This one right here.
Yahweh Bashem Shai is watching all of us. So I don't give a, you shouldn't care that Esau is watching you. And let me say this too. As the whole damn world is in disarray, Esau's only main focus is to watch niggas.
Yeah.
But Moab watching you.
Yep.
Yeah, Magog watching you.
Yep.
You know? Elam watching you. Persia watching you, but you want to watch niggas.
The Lord watching you.
The Lord watching you. But here in this bubble of Babylon, Esau, you see what time Jamal got in? Dummy? Your shelves is getting empty.
Yep.
Resources are becoming thin. Okay? Scarcity is setting in. It's like, you know what all of it is, bro? It's like when the Lord put it on Pharaoh's spirit to chase after us, and he's drawing them so far out that by the time he realizes, he's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm surrounded.
Yeah, yep.
I'm surrounded by bodies of water now.
Right.
See?
That's why it says in the book of Proverbs 24 that he shall fall in the ditch therein.
Yep.
Because he's trying to put us in a trap, but the Lord put you in a trick bag. You know?
So we win.
That's right.
We win. We already won. We already won. You know?
That's right.
And just for anybody to know, we're on site at the first Underground Railroad stop that Jake had to go through when they got to Rochester, when they got to Nathaniel Rochester.
Yep.
And Nathaniel Rochester bought this plot of land, and he was only given this land because who sold it to him, his whole sole purpose was to expand slavery to the northern parts of America. And that's why the Nathaniel Rochester, who this godforsaken city is named after, he came here with slaves too.
Yep.
All right?
Real quick one. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73. This one I was thinking about.
Okay.
73 and verse 6, it says,
You still got Ecclesiastes?
therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain,
Yep.
violence covered them as a garment.
Ooh, that is a good one. Violence covers them as a garment.
That's a good one.
You know? Shalom, Yabashim Shai, Bashim Kagodas Barakatah.
Wow.
Read that one more time, please.
Psalm 73 and verse 6.
Yep.
Therefore pride compasses them.
Now you got to break it down. How does pride compass him? It compasses him to where when you seen the video of the Edomite cop, he arrested some Jakes and then he's blowing a stogie down.
Yep.
So pride compasses him after he's completed it, after he's raped you, killed you, murdered you, hung you, and he sits there with pride You know, he feels accomplished. He feels accomplished. That's the pride that it's talking about. When you read these scriptures, you have to present a scenario in your mind to visualize the meaning behind this.
Exactly, because the scriptures is realistic. It's
Yep.
real life. You know, like for example, when King David was running for King Saul at the time, like that's real life. His life was really in danger.
Yep.
You know, like people think that the Bible just some fairy tale fictional. Oh, like no, man. You know, like brothers got put to death. You know, back in this time. You know, martyrs.
Or face death.
Yeah.
And then the psalm was writing of their prayer.
Yeah.
So you have to go through these situations to produce these beautiful motivational spiritual sayings.
Right. Like Romans 8, for example. Paul said he was shipwrecked thrice. You know, come on, man. Why do you think he wrote that? Because he went through that. You know, for us today.
Why did he tell the brothers in Philippi that he was in chains? Because he was in chains.
What Kanye West said?
Because
niggas was in Paris.
He
Why
was
is this song called Niggas in Paris? Because niggas was in Paris.
right.
Come on, man.
Look, chain link fence, chains, man.
All right,
Back to points.
Yep. That's a little more.
Yep.
Psalm 73 and verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Like we said earlier, like Esau being that greedy lion. You know, and I didn't know that. That's a cool fun fact that, you know, lions, they puke up if they eat too much.
You know who else does that?
Who?
Romans.
Oh, wow. Oh,
They would eat so much and they would throw it up. Let me look that up. We're in a fact-checking season.
Yeah, man. And it goes to show how nasty and vile that you know, Edom truly is.
Yep.
You know, they have no mercy on you, man. That's why you gotta get delivered. You know. And it says they have more than heart could wish.
And guess what? And I'm using Esau's weapons against him. I'm on Chat GPT. How about that? Okay. So I got Chat GPT working for me.
Yep.
Now, real quick, I said, did Romans throw up food to eat more? It says, here, I'll show you. Okay. It says, yes. Ancient Roman elites practiced a form of binge eating and purging during lavish feasts, but the idea that they regularly vomited just to eat more is often exaggerated. So then why did they throw up to eat more then?
Disgusting.
See this? You gotta see Chat GPT, man. You with me, but you against me. You know,
Right there, that's a heathen. That's
right.
The heathen would do.
And what they call that now? They call it bulimia.
Yep. Bulimic. And it says, verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly.
Wait, they're corrupt. So when somebody's corrupt, that has to deal with justice,
Right.
legalities, the legal system. So they're corrupt in the system when it refers to justice.
Yep.
So you will not receive justice from your enemy. Your enemy thinks that killing you, he's justified and he calls that justice.
Exactly.
That's what you got to think how when you think of, like, it's like understanding. It's perception and perspective.
Right.
You could say, I'm hungry. And that you mean, man, I'm really hungry. I want some lamb. You know what I mean? And, if he says he's hungry, he's saying, I'll eat you.
Yeah.
You got to understand, these are two different nations. You know, you say I love you compared to him say I love you is two different things. You got to understand how you think and respond ain't what he meaning when he respond. Like going back to that movie with Richard Pryor, and he was buying the house, and the Edomite was showing him it, and as he was showing it in a joking manner, he said, yeah, and we're taking these cabinets. We're taking the doors. And they kept saying it, but Richard Pryor's thinking that they're joking.
Because they're laughing.
Because he wants you to assume. So he don't think how you think, you know? You think your thoughts, my thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? You can't assume how you think is what he thinks. You know?
Truly.
Shit, even I remember as a fun fact, this one dude was trying to be trained by Kobe. So Kobe said, show up at 5:30.
Yep.
So he showed up at 5:30 at night. Kobe meant 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
Two different nations. He didn't get what you meant. See? So you gotta understand how this guy works, man.
Yeah, man. For real.
With the laws he's passing, you gotta think like the devil.
Yeah.
Meaning, how is he gonna harm me with this? But that's the prophecy, because I'm thinking about the Section 8 again, but it said they receive benefits. That's why they're going to have a painful death. And then woe to you to go to Egypt. You're going to go to the same man that cut your water off to make you go to him. It's like he's funneling fish, you know? If he wants a pond of bass, well, how does he make these fish migrate to over here?
Yeah.
Bombs, explosion, poison, whatever to get them to swim this way. So he's controlling the masses of people where he wants you.
That's right.
And where's he want you? In the mother effing grave, man.
That's right. And it continues to say, Psalm 73 and verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
So they speak wickedly, who shall bemoan thee? Okay? It's 2025, but it feels like antebellum again.
You damn right.
Antem, before bellum, war. Antebellum means before war. Before what war? The Civil War. Isaiah 19, a civil war is prophesied. Okay? War is coming here.
Right.
And when that time takes place, my mind immediately came to my brain was the scene from the movie Civil War where he said, what kind of American are you?
Yep.
Remember that?
Hell yeah.
Please, thank you.
Wow.
See, you got to read that, brother.
Antebellum, occurring or existing before a particular war, especially the American Civil War.
Wow.
And the American Civil War was funded by the Rothschilds. It was not to free us from slavery because the proclamation, a proclamation of declaration that was to put ownership by state or government.
Right.
It wasn't to free you. What you got?
Right.
Mid-19th century, from Latin, from ante, before, and bellum,
War. See? Before war. So that whole Civil War, that was a plan to businessize and corporatize America. So when you look back at Edomites down south, that Confederate flag wasn't, because it was 13. The Confederate flag has 13 stars on it because it was 13 states that rebelled against the Union, okay? They rebelled against the Union, hence why we had to flee. Up here, we're at an Underground Railroad station right now, okay? We had to flee, but those Edomites, they were fighting, yes, to keep Jake in slavery, but to keep their American values that this place so-called was founded off of. Meaning, no tyrannical government over me. Mm-hmm. Don't tread on me, you know? Because, let's see, what was the Revolutionary War?
1776?
Yep, 1776. And then the Civil War ended in 1865.
Yes.
So you had the Revolutionary War, which is Daniel 7, and then after you had the Civil War, because first America freed itself from a tyrannical government, Britain, which is also one of the heads, and then the little horn, America, came out of it. And then while America was here, because it declared its independence, but still had slaves, but it declared its independence, saying, don't tread on me, I have the right to pursue happiness, I have the right to overthrow the government. That's what his Constitution says. That's not what I said.
Yeah,
that's what his Constitution says. We have it, okay? And then from there, Esau, the elites, owned the banks in 1654, Amalek. So then they wanted to change America into this Satan's playground. And it infringed on the average everyday Joe Edomite that just wanted to have whiskey, women, and fields.
Yep.
This is how you got corporate America. It was through the Civil War, but they used slavery as an excuse. Democracy.
Yep.
We gotta go over there and we gotta free them. Then I seen this quote. It said, if another place did what America did to black people, then America will go over there and give them democracy pretty much. Yeah. So what Esau's doing to us, he now goes around and claims he's trying to free people there, but really you'd have to attack yourself, because what you're doing to these other countries, you're doing right here.
That's right. Psalm 73 and verse 9, it says, verse 8, they speak loftily, they set their mouth against the heavens. Right.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't get your break?
Yep.
You know? No.
Real.
Okay, we'll write that down. You need a desk?
Yep.
You know? They do all that little bullshit. There's no urgency with them.
Yeah.
When it comes to you in a critical situation of life and death, you know who else does that? The nigga woman. You got a Jake woman that got fired from 911 because she hung up over like 800 fucking calls, you demon.
Yep.
Okay?
Because she said she didn't feel like us talking that day. She didn't feel like speaking to nobody. Man.
Brothers lead,
Man.
bro. Brothers lead. You better lead. You better lead. Cool. I'm so glad it's coming out because the times we're in, it says, one, this is a careless city. Two, you careless daughters. Okay? You cannot be in a careless spirit like your woman wants to be.
Hell yeah.
She just wants to light slow while she sits on her feet on the couch and snugs up to you.
Yep.
Your daddy, your husband. That's her role. She's a little girl in heart, but you're a man in spirit.
Yep.
So you gotta rule, man. You gotta, hey, babe, I know you look good. Chill out though. We got a slayer coming.
Right.
Okay? We got a slayer coming.
I got that actually too.
Perfect. You gotta understand right now, the woman is not gonna be thinking like you are, brothers. She's not gonna think to lock the door when she gets in the car. She's not gonna think to look around as she gets out the car. Her face is in her phone.
Literally.
It's a little girl. You cannot allow a little girl's opinion to dictate what you do depending on your house and situation. It's not a this is life or death. And it said choose you life we choose life. Everybody else is in a death style. We're in a lifestyle.
That's right.
It's way different.
That's right.
And the fucking slayer's coming to, he wants you to be dumb. He wants you to have your ass up a girl's sundress.
Yep.
He wants you to be a nigga so he can hem you up, man. You better recognize when you think about war, count the cost.
Yep.
When you think about war is not just confused noise as it says. War is also strategic, it's also psychological, it's mental, it's physical, it's spiritual, it's positions, it's demographics, it's land, it's betrayal, it's allies. So war is more than just killing your enemy in front of you.
Yeah.
You could be killed but from society. He wants to see, he's declaring war on Jacob, but what he wants to do is destroy Jacob's character before he kills Jacob physically.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why he said, surely isn't his name Jacob?
Yeah.
Meaning he pointed, even though he sold his birthright, even though he knew he sold his birthright, when he was speaking to his father Isaac, he said, but surely isn't his name? So he made an excuse. This Edomite, I think she like killed or stabbed her parents because they said, why? She said, because they told me Happy Easter.
Damn.
So instead of being remorseful,
Damn.
all he's set up to do is give you an excuse.
Yeah.
A sinful man will not be reproved, but maketh an excuse.
It says that he cast off all pity towards us.
Yep.
The Amos 1 and verse 11.
Yep.
You know?
And that word pursue means harass.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wow.
So a lot more harassment's coming, you know? Might call your phone, might mess up your live,
Yeah.
take your channel down. You know, hey, you see something wrong with the channel, I'm gonna let it be known to the heads.
Yeah.
Hey, they doing something, we started a new one, we here.
Yeah.
We got our lessons. They're hindering. So
Yes.
we got
It's like it, bro, and that's war.
exactly.
You know, like war, like you said, it's not physical, it's also mental.
He wants you to
You know?
war against each other.
Yeah, man.
Like how the Sakari did.
Yep. Mm-hmm. This is the book of Ezekiel 21. I'm gonna start at verse 8, and it reads again.
We finished Psalms.
It's a little more. I can.
Well, no, you're going to the Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you go back to Ecclesiastes 3? Because war, death, then it'll tie right in.
Got you. Perfect.
Because it's a time for everything. Time to speak, time not to speak.
Yep.
You know? Then when he leave, I speak again.
That's right.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 4. A time to weep and a time to laugh.
Yeah, oh, well, it tells you that in the Gospels, how soon they're rejoicing,
Yep.
you know,
Right.
we'll be lamenting. We're about to get
Right.
crowned, man.
That's right, bro.
Okay, they're rejoicing right now, but they stink. They're committing adultery.
Overweight.
They're not men of the Lord. They're not women of the Lord. They're not chosen.
Yep.
So whatever they're rejoicing in is vanity.
Yep.
I don't care, you know. But then for us, there's a time for us to weep. There's a time for us to sigh and cry. Okay. But then now it's gonna change. Proverbs 1, laughing at the calamity. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. And we in the spirit to watch who's coming up to camp. If somebody comes up, we're gonna change the camera angle.
That's right.
All right? You're not gonna be hearing some fucking rusty demon voice in the background getting rebuked. We're gonna put their ass on camera, and we got the penal code of you interrupt a religious service.
Yeah.
Okay, you see us outside of church, nigga. What you think this is? We just waiting for the church to open. Maybe we see more devoted than your ass. All right?
And the camera's also a witness too.
Exactly.
You know, so that's good.
Yep.
Because niggas gotta be out of it.
Yeah, you gotta,
you know?
You gotta be prudent. You're not paranoid, you're prudent.
Right.
Okay?
Big difference.
You pray, you have faith, but you also are prepared. You know?
Yeah. Like the equalizer.
Yes.
You know, like every second, every minute, he was on point at everything.
And every move you say should be tactical.
Yeah.
You know, your speech should be precise. Everything you do should be on point. No wasted moves.
Yep.
No wasted dribbles.
Yeah.
If life's a game, don't waste your dribbles.
For real.
Shit, he's using AI against us.
Yeah.
Yeah? Keep going.
A time to break down.
Yeah, time to break the scriptures down. You know? A time that the church got broken down. Remember falling away?
Mm-hmm.
The time where the temple got broken down. You know? There's a time to break down, and then what? Keep going.
A time to break down, a time to build up.
And then a time we're being built up. While he's trying to build his New World Order smashing machine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Because he's really trying to come back in the spirit that Rome did. Tread them underfoot. Mm-hmm. He's really coming back and that he's trying to replicate that because it says the deadly wound was healed.
Right.
So you got to start actually thinking about Rome's revival and the tactics that Rome would do to keep that revival.
Yeah.
So now him being in his ancient Roman demon spirit as also being Cain and also being the old serpent.
Yeah.
All right, that magi.
Well, you can't forget what Elon Musk did. You know, at Trump's what was that? Trump's administration thing, whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but remember he did the Roman salute. You know, so it shows you like, come on, this is Rome all over again. They're coming down hard, you know, with this technocracy, but it's gonna, you know, put everybody in a big bubble of control. You know, he wants to control you.
And then they made an AI-generated version of Trump as the Pope, and the Pope goes back to the Roman Catholic Church.
Yep.
Even though we were ruling at that time, but I'm still going to use that to bridge Babylon to Rome again.
Mm-hmm.
So take that. Keep going, brother.
Yeah.
A time to weep. Verse 4, a time to weep,
Yep.
and a time to laugh.
Yep.
A time to mourn.
It was a time for them to laugh at us.
Yep.
It was a time he not going to be able to laugh at us much longer. Because the Lord said he going to look down on men and laugh at them.
That's right.
Keep going.
Right.
A time to mourn, and a time to dance.
Yep. Oh, it says we piped on you and you have not danced. You know? Well, we're dancing right now. There's a song being sung.
That's right.
A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together.
Yep.
A time to embrace,
Mm.
and a time to refrain from embracing.
So now we in the spirit, we ain't embracing with you.
Yep.
You know, you got certain men, we just calling it what it is, because, hey, the sheep got to know and be protected. You got certain men reaching out to elders, you know, brothers, asking to come to camp, and then when they're told no, they still show up. We have the right to say, no, you can't be here with us. And if you don't, we say, okay, we're going to leave.
Right.
You know, you had individuals coming up to camp. Hey, y'all just go do your own thing.
We don't owe nobody.
We don't owe niggas nothing. Okay? People are being weird, you know? People coming up wanting to, we don't even want to debate with you. Okay? We will apply Romans 13.
Right.
Serious.
For real.
Because if not, it'll get carnal.
Yeah. Just like Apostle Paul applied it, you know?
And do you know the Romans protected Apostle Paul when he was getting jumped by niggas, man?
Yeah, man.
Keep going, brother. Ecclesiastes.
A time to cast, no. A time to get in. A time to get.
You can start up one more if you want.
Okay.
Yep.
A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together.
Yep. Minimalism.
Right, exactly.
We're in a minimalism spirit.
Minimalists. That's right.
We're in a spirit of buying non-perishable items.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We're in a different time, man. Shit, if I have to, I pray over tap water. So what?
Yeah.
This shit,
right.
shit's in plastic
Right.
already.
All right.
I can't pray. Yahushua said we drink poison and live.
Yeah, man. Come on. Keep going.
A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing.
Yeah, we're good. right? Then
Yeah.
the doors got closed.
Yeah.
Now there's special situations where brothers are being let in, you know, because you think about it. It says in the time of Noah, let in
Yeah.
the clean.
Yeah, yep.
You know,
Spiritual, right.
and then it also said you bring both bad and good.
Yeah.
But
right.
now the good is still being allowed to come in. You know.
That's right.
But the order went out. Hey, nah, we're good. And then the order also went out to let men in, and they fucking played.
Yeah.
They were playing, being weird.
Yeah.
And then they got outed for being backbiters and whisperers. And now your ass out here as a lone garment as Esau's coming in like a flood, man. The brotherhood is the government, man.
Yeah.
If you are not tapped into the brotherhood, you're not a part of the body.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I mean? Shit. Keep going.
A time to get.
So if the body gets touched, if a part of the body gets touched, we all get touched.
Right.
You know? I get fucking pissed when I hear things that happen to brothers, you know? That shit really angers me. That really bothers me in the spirit. But we understand it and we deal with it. But how we feel, we like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm sending big curses up now.
Real.
Big curse. I've been sending up curses more than ever now. I've been putting curses on fucking people plotting on me at work.
Real.
Like, bitch, this is work. This is work. I'm only here for like 8 hours. Not even that. If you gone, I leave too. Shut up. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? We jake it, but I do my job. But you got people plotting against us, watching us, being weird.
And that's on the ground level. How much more, you know, up top.
Elitish.
Exactly. It says wickedness in high places.
Yes.
You don't think Esau is, you know, putting spells out to make us, you know, fail, make us, you know, come on, man. Like, what's that heathen, Balaam or Balak? He try to put a curse in us. Come on, Esau's like that, you know?
But see, the difference is, like, we could go into how certain people got chased out of Babylon because of what they know. I said, that means the Lord is with us.
That's right.
If we right here still talking what we're talking about, and we don't come home to see our batteries in the remote be changed, you know they do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Them niggas, they'll let you know, and we could touch you.
Yeah.
So if we home eating chicken, that mean we protected.
Exactly. The Lord said that He had knocked down kings for us.
Yeah,
You know?
reprove kings
The
for our
water.
sake.
Right. You know?
Reprove kings for our sake.
Come on, man.
He that is a king today, tomorrow shall die.
That's right. Come on.
Back in Ecclesiastes.
Still got that Proverbs too.
Perfect.
A time to
And then
keep.
we'll get that. Then we'll go to Ezekiel. Yep.
And a time to cast away.
Yep. You gotta cast away sometimes. Sometimes you gotta get away.
Exactly.
You don't owe your family nothing.
Exactly.
You do what you need to do, but don't let your family try to dictate how you being a watchman.
Don't let them guilt trip you either.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on. We ain't see you in 5 years.
They'll be mad if you don't go.
I don't give a fuck.
They'll be mad.
Who?
Right.
Grown ass man. Who could be mad at me?
We gotta be watchmen.
Right.
You got a woman, she better be doing her job.
Yep.
That's your role. You know? We love our children, but we're on a mission. Okay? And the Lord has given us our spiritual balls back. We talking to the brothers. See, you sisters, which we say shalom to you, we love you in the spirit because we know that there is elect lady. But with even you sisters, you're watching the Holy Spirit speak to Yahushai's men. That's why it said be quiet. You know? If you got anything, ask your husband.
Exactly.
At home.
Exactly.
You sitting there asking him at camp.
Right.
Why don't you two go watch at home?
Right. Exactly.
There was one Jake, he was gonna come up, you remember, and I think it was you, brother. He said, well, yeah, brother, why don't you come and then, you know, you could just leave your wife at home. Oh, now she go everywhere with me.
Oh yeah. Yep. I remember that shit.
Now, in prison, you hold the pocket, and that's a bitch.
Damn.
So you're basically your woman's bitch, bro. No, the time we in, hey, I'm gonna show you love in a different way. Love don't always gotta be showcased through affection. It could be shown through security.
Yep.
It could be shown through protection. You know? You gotta get this thing together here.
Right.
Remember, Lot's wife looked back. And I told you not to look back, if you will. You know what I mean? Because you already do what you gotta do. But we're at a point now, if they don't listen, I'm not pitying a snake charmer when they're bitten.
Right. Hey, just like the movie 28 Weeks Later, when his wife got caught, he kept running. He didn't look back. She the one that got caught.
Yeah. And then they linked up again.
Yep.
And they had zombie love.
Yeah. Just like the scene in what's that movie with Lorenz Tate? You always bring up
Dead presidents.
He tried showing the picture of his daughter. He said, "I want to see that shit." He's in war, literal war right now.
You know what? I'm glad this is coming out because when you look at the aspect of Hebrew Israelites that are pushing the family values, that's weakening those men.
Yeah.
That's making them more emotional and irrational.
Yep.
So now they're gonna react off emotion, like in the movie Matrix. Remember when Cypher went to shoot Tank, and then Dozer came running out? Yeah, that might be a 6'3", 260 Jake, but Cypher took his ass out in one blow because you went off emotion.
Yep.
You should have played dead at first. You're supposed to, and then get him. You got to be strategic. You got to be prudent. You got to be crafty. Okay? Stop letting your left hand know what the right hand's doing. Hebrew Israelite, what's that? Right?
Exactly.
What's that? You out here walking with fringes on. Yeah. Let me get 12 on 3. What?
Now you're following you home now.
You ever see
come on, man.
You ever see videos where it'd be like a Jake, he'll walk into a store with his pistol.
Yep.
And then and another one will just rip that shit.
Yep.
Now what you do? Now what you got? You got fringes and you pistolless.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Straight up, man.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh yeah, Slocky.
A time to rend. This is verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to
a time to break, and a time to fix.
Right.
So so it's like you got to understand the season. What season are we in? We're in a somber, solemn season. You know? Keep going. And also, no one around us, everyone is citizens out here.
Everyone.
Okay?
Everyone.
I'm serious, man. It's the elite and the elect.
Yes.
It's the elite and it's the elect. And we're of the hopeful elect. Okay? So everyone else are just citizens. Keep going.
A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
A time to read that again.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence.
You're right. It tells you in Proverbs that even a fool that is silent is deemed wise.
Yep.
Now, my so-called boss had caught us out at church. This is just church. He seen us, but he told me. And when he told me, I was silent. I said, huh? I said, what? What's he talking about? And he said, never mind. And then this week, this woman, she came up to me randomly and said, I seen you ministering downtown, and I ain't say shit either. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, look, sister, you Judah. You Judah, girl.
Right.
When you go on break.
Right.
When you go on, no, we ain't say shit. Ain't say nothing.
Scripture say don't cast your pearls among swine.
Ain't say
because if you do, then they gonna turn your words against you. Exactly.
Now you in HR. Now you in HR.
Now you stuff inside a cardboard box, getting walking out the job and shit.
Yep, by security.
Yep.
All fully in character. Hey, everybody's in a character. So when you at work, you gotta be in character, man. You gotta know how to apply a balanced character. Wise as serpent, harmless as dove.
Right.
That's a balanced characteristic that Yahweh Shai commanded us to keep.
Right. Gotta blend in.
Yeah, because look at the Deuteronomy. You're not being wise, bro. You're being a viper. You're not a wise serpent. You're a viper. Back in Ecclesiastes.
A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
So we're speaking now. But it's going to come a time where there'll be a famine of hearing the word of what we're inspired to speak. So you're getting all this vital information from on high right now before he comes down on low. Keep going.
A time to love and a time to hate.
Yep. So we can't love everybody.
Yeah.
You know? You can't love everybody.
It says prove a friend.
You gotta prove them.
It says don't let everybody inside your house.
Nope.
You know?
Not where you live, what you drive. Now, granted, it happens, and you don't always gotta have the same routine.
Yeah.
He's a hunter, he's a wolf. Certain wolves follow trails of prey. So you gotta switch it up. You know? What did Amalek do? He attacked the old and the young that were trailing behind us.
Yep.
That's why actually in a wolf pack, the oldest wolves are in the front and the pack leaders in the back. Because where do you attack? From the back.
Right.
That's why when you at camp, you're making sure your surroundings, they can't come behind you.
Yep.
We're spiritual, but we're also being practical.
Being circumspect.
Being circumspect.
You know?
You know?
Circumference, looking around.
Because if I was Esau, I would send thick ass black women to these camps to get them. Easy.
Well, they show you that in movie Belly. It was a black woman that off that dude.
Oh,
Remember?
no shit. I never seen it.
Oh, my bad.
No.
It's spoiler alert.
I don't care. Shit, I want to know. See, though, that proves a point.
You know, they said ninjas and shit.
I'd send thick South African black women to hide tape recording in their body part, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Listening device. Remember that one camp got raided and you had Big Shirley out front of it like this in the New York Post.
Yeah.
And then you had this simple ass Zebulonite looking out the door like, come on, sis, the chicken's done. And then not too long later, they got raided by the feds for tax evasion. Why did Nebuchadnezzar come against us in Babylon? Yes, because of wickedness, but what was the excuse? Tax evasion.
Not paying taxes.
So all that 501c3, you done put your ass in Esau's world. Now you dreaming with Freddie. And now the Slayers got you. Because you went to his world for a constellation. You went to his world for success. And now he's got you.
Yep. It's like you going to Michael Myers, you know what I'm saying? He
To
kill
sharpen
you.
a knife.
Yeah, come on,
Because it's a
man.
knife sale.
Come on.
Look over there. Yeah. Remember what he did to Cain, though?
That's
He talked him up, and then he murdered him.
Abel, right.
Right, yeah, the water.
But that's how he
Right.
That's how Esau
Cain-
rose. That's his MO.
Cain talked Abel up, and then he murdered him.
Yeah, man. Like he'll say, look over there. You know, boom, he dead. That's
Like
why
the-
it says never trust thine enemy.
Like the IUIC member did the ex-IUIC member.
Oh,
That's why
man.
Yahweh Shai said, you are your father, the
That
devil.
was fucking crazy.
You devil worshipers. You call on Christ, you're a devil worshiper.
Yes.
If you call on God and Jesus and Most High Christ bless, you are a devil worshiper.
Yes.
And I cast you from me.
For real.
Fucking Christian devil worshipers. Devil just means slanderer and a false accuser.
Yeah.
You're a devil worshiper because you still pushing the devil's worshiping. Now we got chain spots again.
Right.
Nah. Keep going.
But that's how real it is, though.
But we're in
You know?
good spirits.
Yeah.
Like, this boosts my faith, you know, and it should boost your faith, knowing that the enemy's about to attack and we're on the defense.
Right.
Oh, shit. You know, we're on the defense. You telling me I could dodge bullets? I'm telling you that day, you won't even have to.
Right.
You won't even have to.
Woo.
You won't even have to. You won't have to do nothing.
Gonna be protected.
Stand there. Back in Ecclesiastes 3,
Yep. And call out Bobby Michelle.
we're trying to get through all that.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
I hate you.
A time of war.
A time of what?
A time of war.
So if we already been in a spiritual war since being allowed to serve, prepare thy soul to, when you serve the Lord for temptation. So if we already been in a spiritual war, having on the full armor, well now those high places are now about to come down carnally.
Right.
So now he's not just throwing out fucking gamma rays and 5G. He ain't just throwing out metals in your cereal no more. Now he's actually physically coming against us. And guess what? Guess what they call that though? Street rules.
Yeah.
And we fight dirty too.
Hand in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, see, we
Yep.
see,
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
Yep. Keep your thumbnails sharp to stick it in his fucking eye.
Yeah. Fucking
Yep.
get his forehead sniped.
That's legitimate tactics in defense though.
Yeah.
Because that would happen to someone that has a knife, a weapon, a bat, trying to murder you. So now you have to disable them if that were to come about.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why King David was that prayer. You teach my fingers.
144.
To fight. The water.
And guess what? Esau has that as a prayer as police and troops and officers. All right, and militias and deltas and alphas. Okay? So this is culminating. This is a climax.
Yeah.
You know? It's a climax. It's like you could hear Sam Cooke in the background singing By the River.
Right. Right. So,
Oh, and,
yeah.
and then you got the Rondi hitting thing.
Yep.
You seen that? The
Yeah,
Jake?
yeah.
So Judah's being roused up. Now that's getting agents roused up, provocateurs. So now what he can do is rope us all into one because Yahweh Shai was numbered amongst the transgressors.
Right.
Okay? So you got to just understand that you could potentially be attacked.
Right.
Elisha said there was more with us than with them because them was coming after him.
Right.
Remember his understudy was getting nervous?
Yeah.
So the whole point that we're getting at is this man is about to attack.
You gotta keep your eyes open because it's building up.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, you think Esau is not gonna? That's gonna set off one of his little minions to come and do one of the mass pew pew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Esau, like he uses niggas to do his dirty work.
Yes.
That's why you gotta watch out for Jake too.
Yep.
Because Jake, they're easily ground level like Esau is, but he uses Jake to get Jake.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Perfect example. Perfect example.
Keep going. Oh, during that Turner the movie, it was a little jit that turned on him because of fear.
Yep.
It's not
house nigga.
Yup.
Like,
No. And as our elders have said in the past, it's not biblical, but what is to be believed is that what Satan did was he basically played on Judas' mind to make him think he could force the Lord's hand to take down Rome then. Okay? So we may be zealous, but we're not out here to be zealots.
Right. It wasn't time.
Like, you know what I mean? We're not here to carnally free ourselves.
Right.
So that's why you go, why is ISBK pepper spraying themselves and punching? You didn't see that? Like I get it. I get it. Because can you be pepper sprayed? Yes. Well, you may have to fight. Yes. But why are you showcasing this to where it looks like a publicity stunt, and then you want other people to see it? So now you're letting the left hand know what the right.
Exactly. Don't put that shit on wax.
Is Esau showing you what his military's doing?
Hell no.
They call it in the FBI, they call it but pretty much it's called like they don't let secrets out because they don't want the general public to know, because when an agent's amongst them, you might spot that tactic and then you spot that undercover agent.
Right.
It's called like craft, it's called like crafting, craft exposure or something. Like you're not, they have strict rules where you're not allowed to leak certain tactics that you use to remain undercover.
Right.
So my point, what I'm getting at is, if Esau knows that, what the fuck is up with niggas?
Right.
Excuse my language for saying it in that manner, but what's up, bro? Why are you in front of the White House? You know what I mean?
Right.
What are you doing in front of the White House? Where are we, Ecclesiastes, please?
Yeah, it's a little more.
Yeah, 3 and 8, is it?
Yeah.
Let's read that. Damn.
Yeah, man.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 9. What profit has he worketh in that wherein he laboreth?
Mm-hmm.
I have seen the travail which the Most High has given to the sons of men to be exercised in it.
Yep.
He has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that the Most High maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of the Most High. For I know that whatsoever the Most High doeth, it shall be forever, and nothing can put to it, nor anything taken from it.
So they can't stop this.
Exactly right.
They can't stop it. Okay? But what's being conveyed is there's an attempt to stop it. You're being known that there's actually a carnal creature prophesized to try to stop what has already been set in the spirit. Now let's jump to Proverbs 22. I know there's more because it said judgment under sun, but let's go into this so we can get into the slayer.
This is Proverbs 22 and verse 3.
Start at 1, please.
Okay, verse 1, it says, Proverbs 22 and verse 1, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Yeah, like now, hey, having a great name in the heavens.
Hell
Paul
yeah.
I know, Yahweh Shai I know, but who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Go that way.
Right.
So having a good name now is a protection. Having a good name amongst the brothers. Having a good name amongst the body. Okay? Because the time coming, things are starting to get tighter. Things are getting closer. Things are being exposed. So everything is happening.
Yeah.
Everything's coming to a head. It's being bottlenecked. Okay? Keep going.
And it reads,
But 20 to 30, we got 20 to 30 years
fuck
here.
out of here.
Because you got 20 to 30 dollars left. You know what I mean? Like you got 30 more years of money.
That's a bad guess.
You know what I mean?
He could only said 5 years. Like then you said 20 to 30 years. That's 2-3 decades,
Well,
man.
as Elder Pastor says, better than 1,000 years.
Right.
So you got
right.
fucking Pistol Peg Pete over here saying 1,000 years. And then you got Mr. No Jacob Trouble Bishop Nathaniel saying 20 to 30 years, 2050.
Imagine being here for 20 to 30 more years.
No,
I can't imagine that.
no.
Yahushua said, "No flesh shall be saved," man. This place will keep getting worse.
And then if you have children, they got to be raised up in it. Now you got your 11-year-old son at camp.
Hell no, man.
Like Deacon. Oh, Deacon, Genesis is done too. Yeah, you're done, okay? Genesis is done too. All right, Hassan, stop shaving your mustache. You're not Dominican, but they're done too. That's what Dominicans do. They shave their mustache.
It's a cultural
It's
thing.
a cultural thing. Simeon. But they're done. Now all of a sudden, you silently didn't tell the body that your weird-ass jumping ship member, Zamran, he's now believing only in the Old Testament. Then he took his son with him, but they were at your camp. Then you used to camp with him. And one of the signs that they held for camp is the same sign that they used when they were with Wi-Fi that said that Cesare Borgia was the image of the beast, but you made everyone sign a contract stating that that wasn't an image of the beast. So what kind of fucking camp leader are you? Nigga, stick to rapping.
Yeah.
Stick to rapping.
That's a nigga holding the Bible.
Everything going down, and I came across his page, and all I seen was a fitted bobbin with him. He loves himself. So let that leader lead you and see where it gets your ass. Why are we outside the VMAs for camp? Nigga throwing out his album and shit.
Man.
He's on his own belly. Majority of these camps that you see out here, they're on their own belly. Okay?
Yeah.
Like going in front of some kind of event. You trying to, you know what I mean? You doing that for, who told you to go in front of a strip club?
Yeah.
It said whores would be saved. But it didn't say you got to go to the whorehouse to get them.
Exactly.
It says the spirit will gather them.
Jake, we doing too much.
Way
man.
too much, bro.
Proverbs 22:1, and it says, "In loving favor rather than silver and gold,
Yep.
the rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all."
Yeah, rich and poor meet together, and guess where they gonna meet? They're gonna meet getting the mark.
That's right.
Rich and poor is gonna meet to get the mark. And the Lord made them all. So we don't gotta be out here hungry for, yeah, you may feel like your job, you deserve a raise, but then you're also content.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm content with it, but this is some bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Some bullshit, Zay.
You gonna
But
do
you,
it.
but you still doing it though.
Be in reluctancy.
You're right.
But you still gonna do it.
Right. Then you get spiritual, like, you know what? There's something I need to learn
Right.
from this. For real.
For real.
You really go through that, you know?
Every day is a fucking test.
Yep.
No, it says the inward man is renewed day by day.
That's it.
It's the first adversity. You know.
And rich is profit not in the day of wrath. You know, and you rich in what? Federal Reserve notes? That ain't
I
nothing.
don't mean shit.
That ain't nothing, man.
That's a fucking piece of paper, literally. And it says, verse 8. I'm sorry, not verse 8. I'm tripping. Verse 3. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil."
So what we've been going into, we see evil coming. What's evil mean? Bad times.
Eve,
Okay?
time, ill, bad.
Right. So we're seeing like, yo, it's bad. You know what? It may not be wise to go on Main Street because this is niggas prime time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now niggas want to come out. You ain't seen them all winter. You know?
Now niggas wanna come out when flowers come out and start blooming.
With energy.
Yep.
With energy, wanted to debate knowledge.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
speaking of niggas, this is the worst generation I've seen. This is the worst generation ever. This proves that we at the end because everything wickedness is increasing. You know?
Yeah, it says men lose strength and the generations pass.
Yep.
This is the worst, weak, whack, wicked generation that I've ever experienced. And I was born in the late 1900s. So I've been around in that century
Yeah.
of where everyone knows Babylon.
Yeah.
Everybody knows from the 90s. Everybody knows from the 99 to the 2000. Come on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows 93.
Right.
Everybody knows 98, 99, 2000. Everybody knows that. Now you have small bits of people that still try to keep the 70s alive,
80s and shit.
80s,
Yeah.
maybe even the 90s, but everybody's pretty much collectively in the time period of like 1990 to now.
Like right, like exactly.
You know what I
like,
mean?
Right, mid to early, yeah.
And guess what? It's mid.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
As Jay said.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Proverbs 22:3, and it says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil."
Let me get some toilet paper now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Don't mean it's gonna save your ass, no pun intended. But maybe I want to get it, so I don't gotta use this for that.
Right.
You know? Maybe let me get some non-perishable items because shelves might get empty.
Yeah.
The creature is gone mad,
Yeah.
and it'll eat you. It won't share with you. It says it's a prophecy. Why would you rely on your neighbor to be a neighbor when it prophesies that neighbors will invade neighbors because of lack of bread?
Exactly.
You gotta apply prophecies to your precepts, baby.
That's right.
You gotta apply the prophecy to your life.
Yeah. And also too, taking out money out your account.
Thank you.
Because it could be a blackout, you
Yep.
know, and shit like that. Then you try to go to your account, but you can't. You can't access it.
First, you try to go to the bank where 1 million other people are going.
Yep.
200 million Americans couldn't have access to their city bank.
Yep.
Okay. I was watching a video. All these Jakes was in a casino, and then all because all casinos now is all touchscreen out of nowhere.
Damn.
I don't fucking know how that came about. Right? Message, Mark. So, all their money, all the casino slot machines that are electronic now, they all went black.
Wow.
And then you gotta hope that when it does turn back on, that they give you the correct number that you had on it when it turned off.
Wow.
All Babylon is digital now, man.
Yeah.
Everything's digital now.
Everything just numbers.
Everything's numbers.
And
You
they try to
know?
make you a number.
Yep.
That's why I want to put that inside you to make you the currency.
What you need to do, if you like, really, if you could live with a brother, by it's best.
That's clutch. For real.
But if you live with a woman, it's understandable, but she's got to get on page.
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know how you can save? Let's say your woman got to work and you work. You need both checks. Okay, listen. I wouldn't do that, but look, listen. Okay, we put our checks together. We both pass go. You get 200, I get 200.
Yep.
But if we both pass go, that's 400. Now we have 400. And if we pass go again, that's 800. 4, 8, 12, 16. We just pass go, and instead of you having $800, you now doubled it.
Exactly.
So 2's better than 1. So if she's really with you and can see that, she be about that. Because I tell you what, when it comes to money with women, they like to keep their own shit. So keep your own shit over there then.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay over here and the lights will go shen.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. So you take your money, all right? Say you got $572. Take the 500 out, leave the 72 in. Budget yourself off the 72. Now that 500 don't get touched, now that when you get 572 again next week, now you just made $1,000 and whatever's rest in your change.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
You do what you need to do. Let's keep going.
Back in Proverbs 22 and verse 3, and it says,
My body, my choice.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil."
So we're seeing the evil, because Ezekiel 3:17, you want to grab that Kratazaba? Got to get the oldie but goldie. We're foreseeing the evil. We're not just thinking about the next IUIC Memphis Passover.
Right.
We're not thinking about a land blitz. Okay?
Ezekiel 3:17.
Yes.
Thinking about prophecy.
Right, you're watching prophecy.
Right.
Once the Lord gave me new eyes to the situation we're in, I started looking at even more, even though we rebuke them, I started looking at the message that these camps are pushing right now. I started looking at women different. Like, if we as men have to walk around prudent, can't walk outside with slides on,
Yeah.
carrying yourself in a masculine demeanor, not in a mean mug, you just on point, and you see this thick ass brown sugar with titties pouring out, that's a fucking fool.
Cross the fucking street.
Cross your legs.
Like-
Cross her out. She's
Real.
gone.
Yeah.
That's booty.
Yes.
If we're in war and she's walking out there like that, the old saying is she is asking for it.
Yeah. I remember when I was working this certain job. Remember that time it was that Biden, that whole Harris thing about the women trying to get her in the office.
Yeah.
I was working this shit and I was like, man, it feel kind of like tension. So I watched my back because they were tripping, So before I clocked out, the Jake said, "Hey man, it's dangerous out there. Watch it back."
See?
So I was already in that spirit though. You know, because, you know, people are crazy out here. That's why you got to be circumspect.
It's a hostile world.
It is.
So if it's a hostile world, I want to say it again. Why in the F-U-C-K do you see women out here half naked in the midst of war? That is a dummy.
Careless.
That's a dumb, careless creature. Yes. When you actually acknowledge that you're in a spiritual war, even though he wants a carnal one, you start looking at people different. You start looking like, I went to the grocery store and I saw women. I felt Isaiah 4:1. I was seeing women look at me, look at my cart, seeing the canned goods, you know, seeing the certain items that are not going to expire in the next week.
Right.
And then I'm waiting behind this B word, and this bitch has got a little fucking box of bird feed and chocolate, you know, and some fucking nuts. Like, what is that going to do for your ass? Isaiah 4:1 is going to be because of the wisdom the Lord has put upon us in a crumbling empire.
That's right.
Okay? Come on now. Come on, man.
Proverbs 22 and verse 3, and it reads, and hideth himself.
You had a woman on TikTok saying she'll work for shelter.
Yep.
Crying.
Yep.
I'll work for shelter. You already know what's going to happen. Because we're the shelter. So you going to hide under us?
Isaiah 32.
Come on, man.
That's right.
Let's get in reality here. Let's be some actual spiritual adults in a current situation that we're in collectively. And then now you know your fucking role. What do you think I want? You think women are just around so we can talk about our effeminate side?
We dare to do some things.
And you're there to let that thing grow.
That's right.
So I can get more sons. So we could bring more Israelites. It says one shall become 1,000.
That's right. And it reads, it says, but the simple pass on.
Boom, if you got offended by us speaking like that, you can fucking die, man. Excuse
Yeah.
my language, but it's like, we're not in a time to... Rosa, listen, Rosa, let me talk. No! Either you're... Quick understanding.
It's urgency.
It's urgent. You get it? You don't? I don't know what to tell you. We're moving forward.
Yeah.
We're moving forward, man.
You
Like,
think martial law? So like,
No.
I'm sorry. You think a martial law troop gonna tell you soft words?
no.
It says lift up your voice like a trumpet.
Yep.
Because this is not something that's just
Playtime.
it's not lightweight.
No.
You know.
He's gonna come in with black face mask on,
Yes.
have a customized fucking rifle, a customized sword. What the one Edomite Buffalo said, here's your reparations.
Yeah.
He said,
Yep.
here's your reparations.
Yep.
He gave it.
Showed it on POV.
Yep.
No, Jake's got effed up, man.
Yep. Buying
And
crabs.
that was one Edomite with one gun.
They're buying crabs.
Oh.
There was a black woman, she was on the ground with like shrimp or something.
And it reads, Proverbs 22 and 3.
The house burning, and she runs back to grab blonde weave.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
no.
leave her alone.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Keep
How
going.
Shai said, remember Lot's wife. And it says, but the simple pass on.
And who's simple? Woman.
Women.
Women are fickle and simple. And then you got Jake that are simple. You got
Yeah.
Jake men right now that embody stupidity.
Yeah.
You know?
They embody the nigga woman.
Yup, he said, Khan, soft and comfortable words ain't gonna save your life. Exactly. Exactly.
You
See?
think you think at halftime a football coach is gonna tell his team, hey man, I know you missed the pass, but next time catch it. No,
No.
he's gonna tell you, catch that fucking pass, man.
And then he's gonna
stop pushing around.
And then he's gonna say, and if your father told you that it's okay if you win or lose, your father's a loser.
Straight up.
Cuss you out.
For
You're
real.
a fucking loser, man.
Shit.
Cuss you out.
Brothers, we're in that time right now, man. Keep going.
And it says, but the simple pass on
Yeah.
and are punished.
They're gonna be punished, bro. These people are gonna be punished in a major way. You got Ezekiel 3? Let's read that, and then from Ezekiel 3, go to Isaiah 31, and then Ezekiel Slayer.
Okay. I got Isaiah 31.
Okay. Ezekiel 3 and 17.
Shit.
Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17.
You know.
Yep. Got you.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
So while watching, you see evil. Hey,
Exactly.
did you know I see evil today? It's not hey Shalom, did you happen to read Chronicles? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
fuck that shit,
you know what I mean?
bro.
We ain't in the
Excuse my
rubbing
language.
toes spirit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Remember, the spirit Yahweh Shem Shai, Bashim Kakwadash had us go into the Ezekiel, Ecclesiastes, a time and season for a reason. Because it's a reason. You can't get caught up in your own routine. You know? That's how a hunter gets its prey, by following its routine.
Exactly.
How does Esau find water in the fucking African desert? By giving a monkey salt and then following it to the water.
Yep.
It's a hunter.
They show you that shit.
It's a hunter.
Yeah.
He's a wolf. He's a lion. You know? He's a rough goat. He's a hunter. And he's trying to hunt you like as if you're the prey.
Yep.
But he don't know the prey is praying. The prey is praying while they playing.
Yeah, they playing while we praying.
Yep. And Esau's praying.
That's right, man.
Keep going.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
And so we are watching, and what we're watching, we're reporting to you specifically. 1 Corinthians 14, it says, we prophesize not to them that believe not, but to them that believe. So if you believe, this message is for you.
Right.
It's not for unbelievers. If you got an annoying unbeliever around you, get them the fuck away.
Yeah. And plus it said that unbelievers gonna die.
Get them, yup.
They faithful should die in their unfaithfulness.
Stop feeling you owe anybody something, you know?
Yeah,
Because
man.
Jake gets you with the loyalty card.
Yeah.
Don't let Jake get you with that shit, man.
Try to guilt trip you.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We boys, man. Come on, man. Fuck that,
The
man.
scriptures say, show yourself as men.
Exactly.
It's like when Nat Turner, he was rebuking that false that false preacher in Birth of a Nation.
Yep.
You know? I can't remember. He said some precept right back at him. But that's how you got to do. You got to combat Satan with precepts. You can't try to confound someone with your own ideology.
Exactly.
You have the precept.
Exactly.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
I made you. I made you into this. I made you look there. I made you watch. I made you into this. Before you were in the belly, I knew thee. And I made you this way. Okay? That's why people say, I miss the old you. So you don't like Yahweh Shem El Shai and what he makes. You like the product of Jake that Babylon creates. You like the product of Edom for being a product of his environment. That's what you like, right? And then he's what? Poe.
Yep.
P-O-E, keep going.
Verse 17, therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
And that word warning, when you go deep into it, you just click on it. The blue that goes into like shedding light. So we're shedding light onto you in a dark situation.
Right.
You don't know what the White House is about to do. You don't know what military training Esau has been doing, okay? You don't know what they're doing, but now through the watchman, you have an idea. Keep going.
Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die.
Hey, bro, you keep calling on Christ, keep denying what the mark of the beast is, you're not repenting, you're going to die. And not only are you going to die, the Lord is going to allow your enemy to kill you.
Ooh, man.
It's like when you see the video of an Edomite knocking out a Jake, that shit, that messes with his spirit.
Yeah.
Because Jake subconsciously admits he's Esau's inferior to him.
Yeah.
Right or right in all things. Like, no fucking white boy beat me. But then when he does, the Lord wasn't with you.
Yeah.
But it was prophecy. A troop shall overcome Gad, but Gad shall overcome in the end. You know? Keep going. It's weirdo.
Yeah, I keep looking over there.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
None of these people matter. All these people are plotting against themselves. He's probably looking for a spot to get a fucking $20 top.
Right, exactly.
So probably got a prostitute.
Yeah.
Niggas just trying to get theirs off.
That's why niggas, see, man,
That's all they're
niggas
doing.
worry about the wrong thing.
That's all they're doing.
You know?
That's all they're doing.
Because they just like the Elder Apostle Howard says, Jake been in Babylon too long.
Way too long.
They're comfortable.
Yep.
You know, they're too comfortable.
But they're not comforted.
Right.
They're comfortable, but they're not comforted.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. Our people are broken, man.
Right.
Okay? Hey, they're broken.
It's not our rest here, man.
It's not our rest.
That's why the scripture says things like, you know, be circumspect, be sober, be
vigilant.
Be vigilant. You know?
Because your adversary, the devil, is as a roaring lion.
Right, exactly.
Seeking who he can devour.
We're in captivity still, man. It's not the kingdom yet.
No. But the kingdom's within us.
That's right.
Keep going, brother.
Ezekiel, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die,
Trying to tell you, wicked niggas, you're gonna die.
and thou givest him not warning,
See, so we are warning.
nor
So
speakest to warn.
you can't say that. So if somebody try to be like, man, y'all always, you're a demon. If you try to tell us not to rebuke false prophets and false shepherds, that's why, hey, get behind me, Satan. You better get behind. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This has to be addressed, you respecter of persons. And Esau ain't gonna be a respecter of persons in Jacob's trouble. You seen them do that publicity stunt where they arrested that northern woman, and then you had, it was in Worcester, and then you had the street. They were starting to try to fight back, and then they hemmed up some women, but then the woman was able to talk, and she kept saying community. It was real weird. It was real weird.
Sounds scripted.
Yeah, it sounded like what she was saying is, hey, if your community is being attacked by ICE, don't chill, attack. So what's that gonna do? That's gonna allow federal military to come in to help in the problems that states are facing with these crimes.
Wow. See?
Slayer know what he doing. He know how to sharpen that thing. He know how to sharpen it up good.
Damn right. He say they don't bear it in vain.
Exactly.
He don't bear the sword in vain. It's his blessing.
Keep going.
Nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way.
But don't go there. Don't go to Esau. Don't roll up your sleeve. You better not let him do that with your children. You better watch out. Those benefits ain't gonna deliver you. Okay, keep saying the government's your baby daddy. You gonna get some domestic violence.
Yeah.
To save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, for his blood will I require at thine hand.
Keep going.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness.
So a lot of these Israelite so-called leaders have blood on their hands.
A lot of blood, too.
Okay?
Yeah.
You got certain Israelite leaders that were guiding the sheep towards a direction based off their natural feelings,
Yep.
which is perverting the gospel. And pervert means to turn away. So if you follow Alizé, he perverted you.
Ooh.
He's a pervert either way. You're following a perverted gospel, man. You're following men that are perverting the gospel.
Man, that's violation. Man. It just goes to show that they don't care about, the sheep.
Exactly.
Yahweh Shai said, if you love me, feed my sheep. They're starving the sheep.
And feed themselves.
Yeah, yep. And that's scripture. You got it, bro.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness.
Yeah.
Right.
Black woman's God.
Right.
Then Satan could jump on her and have a black God woman kill you.
Yeah.
Have your godmother kill you.
For real.
How about that?
Straight up.
Women
man.
like stabbing too.
Yeah.
Because bro, when I first came in, I was in this like help my people spirit. You see Jake pulled over, you gonna pull over. You
Right.
gonna help him.
Right.
You think to help him. So it was where I was living at the time, where I learned the truth. I wasn't really in contact with brothers, but I was watching, I was learning.
Right.
And there was a single mother black woman next door, and she had children and shit, and they would come to my house for like guidance or help, and I was kind of like the neighborhood father. So one night, but one night I'm exhorting, and I'm kind of rebuking, and not knowing, all of a sudden they were drinking too, but Jake didn't know. I had to learn. This bitch went upstairs and she came back down with her hand behind her back, and she came close to me and she went like this, wham! Wow. And bro, I still have the scar somewhere to this day, but she tried to take me out. But that put it in my spirit. After I said, I hate y'all. I fucking hate you. Because we tried, but we had to try to learn we weren't supposed to try. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Not going door to door. Remember that fucking bought and paid for camp one body?
Yeah.
They'd go to an apartment building with a megaphone.
I remember that shit. Fucking
yelling and knocking on doors. See, I'll tell you this. I'll cuss a Jake out quick. If you came and try to talk to my woman about it, I'll fucking cuss his ass. The fuck you doing, man? Huh? Did you ask her if she had a man? What you doing knocking up in here? How you know she ain't on her menstrual? Now you want clean, nigga. That's why you outside said, he without sin cast the first stone. Get your ass out of here. So Jake need that kind of energy trying to roll. You're not the authority. Yahweh Shai gave us the authority. but you try to be a self-appointed authoritative figure. And you only fooling the 2/3, man. Keep going in that, Kratazaba.
Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked,
What we do?
and he turn not from his wickedness,
Because he's wicked,
nor from his wicked way,
because it was prophesied.
he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
So we're out here working to make it. So this is a part of building. This is a part of building the ark to make it. You know? That a lot of people don't like doing. You're missing a key component in the building right now. Now let's go to back in, what are we at, Ezekiel? That was it.
In Isaiah.
Oh yeah. Go to Isaiah, and that was it for Ezekiel 3.
This is Isaiah 31 and verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Black Christians, brown Christians, right? Brown, black, so-called women, men, children.
Yep.
And where are they going? What's Egypt? Edom. Okay? America. They're going to go back to Esau thinking that he will deliver them for what he's doing to them.
Yep.
Okay? Keep going.
And it reads, and stay on the horses and trust in chariots.
Yep. So they see their military. They see their state troopers. They see their federal military. They see their National Guard. So they look at that as power.
Right.
But they don't look at us like we have the power right now.
Right.
But we're not tripping about that. Because the power is in the spirit, not the flesh. You know,
Right.
even Apostle Paul said, when I'm weak, then I'm strong. You know? And you will feel it. I was under the weather the other day, and I felt spiritual strength.
Right.
Even though my body was weak, I felt spiritually strong. I didn't feel defeated, you know?
And spiritual will always outweigh carnal.
Yep.
You know? That's why it says, he that's carnal minded is death.
Yep.
But he that is spiritual minded is life and peace.
You know, that spiritual, that ISBK was pepper spraying themselves, what made them blind, and the blind lead the blind, they both fall into a
That
ditch.
is very spiritual. And they fucking posted it.
And then they wear black shades,
Reprobate activity.
the
man.
eyes dark,
Yep.
darknesses. Let's keep going.
Isaiah 31 and 1. They trust in chariots.
Yep.
Because
they trust in carnality.
Mhm.
They trust
Yep.
in carnality. Here's the portion of the pincher.
Yep.
They trust in what's in the shelf, what's in stock, you know?
Right.
Yeah, we may buy stuff to be prudent, but I'm not like, yup, these beans gonna save me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Lord's gonna save us.
Right.
Exactly.
I believe that. You ever seen with Indian in the cupboard?
Yeah.
I believe that, like, say you don't got no food. Of course it could appear, but I believe you send up a prayer with the cabinet shut. You
Yeah.
open it, boom,
Hell yeah.
boom. You
Yeah,
know?
man. It's the scripture says, what's that, Sirach 2 and 10? It says, who has called upon the name of the Lord and not been confounded? You know, so, you know, there's many accounts and precepts, you know, to show accounts of men having faith and being delivered.
You know, it also says that time would fail you.
Mm.
If you were in Hebrews, it says time would fail you if you had to sit here and explain all the faiths. You know?
Mm-hmm. Back in Isaiah 31 and verse 1, and it reads, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong.
Yeah. It was a call. Let us know if it's good now.
Yeah.
It's a phone call. We're popular with the world on Saturdays. You know, any other day, we're good. All right.
Water.
Thank
I
you,
read it
brother.
again. Isaiah 31 and verse 1, it says, because they are few. Excuse me.
Real quick. Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Nigga woman.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
Nigga woman with fucking Edomite man.
Yep.
Okay? I see it firsthand.
Hell yeah.
I see that there's a spirit on Eve to be under Esau's armpit. She looks at this nigga like he could defeat us.
Yep.
That's why he would do things to that. He can't defeat us, man. Esau can't beat me. You know what I'm saying? Esau can't beat men of the Lord is what I'm getting at. You know?
Mhm.
Esau ain't set up to beat Jacob. He tried to kill Jacob after the mourning of his father, and it didn't happen. Then will I slay my brother Jacob? That didn't happen. So he had to go after the 12 sons. He had to go after the 12 tribes. But he was actually trying to wipe Jacob out right then, like he did Abel. But then after Abel came who? Seth. Then began men to call upon a name. You can't win.
Right. That's right.
He said, the brother said, Isaiah said, yes, sir, these Evites, these evilites on their knees for these Idumeans. Yep.
Yeah, yep.
I see it firsthand. How about you, brother? When you at work?
Every fucking day. Every fucking day. Hi.
Yep.
But when it's you, this nigga.
Yep.
Bro, every fucking day, man.
And then Eve's so wicked, she will disrespect the Jake man that got her the job, and he's her boss.
Yep. I witnessed that firsthand.
So they ain't our people right now. All right, they ain't our people. They are not our people.
Yeah.
Not all Israel's Israel. Okay? And this is the only place that we are being protected from that evil fucking wench. Because out there, she gets a pass. She gets a fucking bullet hole. She still lives. Newport still lives. Hungover drinks Sprite still lives. Falls on a plane still lives. Kills. Destroys. 19, what is it? Million Jake babies and counting.
Yep.
Eve filled up the Nile River with Jake, man. So your ass gonna get thrust through with your bitch ass lover.
That's right.
You know, because Eve's main lover is Edom, man. And Edom is about to show you grotesque love.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Eve is the real devil worshiper.
Yep. Eve is the real devil
That bitch
worshiper.
worship Esau. Like the movie, what's that scene? The Book of Clarence.
You know what movie I was thinking? Bodyguard with Kevin Costner.
Oh, that's a good one. Man, that's a good one.
Yo, that bitch was in his arms. She was, I'm in the arms of an angel. Yeah, Satan was changed to angel of light too. But you can have it in that smelly ass room.
He's an evil
That's my
angel.
bodyguard.
Yep. Edom can have that quabah.
Yeah, damn
All right.
right. We don't want that shit no more.
No.
This is because even she's been showing her allegiance.
Yep.
She showed what side she's on.
And
so
it-
keep him.
And it also doesn't complicate our life.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to, you know what I mean? If I want tuna, I go to the can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It ain't gonna be too pretty in Jacob's trouble, bro.
Nope.
We're realists up here. We're realists up here.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you be real too?
You think they stink now? Okay.
Yep.
Watch.
The only time Eve wants to submit is in the bedroom.
That's it. Isaiah 31:1, and it says, because there are many, and in horsemen.
I was at work and there's a security guard. He's an ex-cop, and his Eve woman was walking by me, and he joked and said to her,
Yep.
and I'm in passing. It don't like I talk to this bitch.
Right.
And he said, he was joking. He said, is this man bothering you? This bitch, without fucking breathing, said, actually, he is. Now, mind you, he was joking, and I wasn't doing anything to her. It was like, we're all work there. So, you know, you kind of, you know people, hi, bye. So he made a jokingly gesture, and this bitch without, and you know what I said? I said, for once in your fucking life, be on our side.
Right.
I straight up said that to her. And you know what she said? I'm sorry. Like, you got, yeah. Because it was like, he joked.
But she wasn't.
But she wasn't, and that wasn't funny to me. For once in your fucking life, why don't you be on our side?
Funny.
See? Sellouts, man. Agents.
And
You know?
people like that, you know, all you gotta do is talk and expose themselves.
Yep.
You know? And it reads, Isaiah 31 and verse 1, because they are very strong.
That they think they're very strong. But remember, prophecy said, one, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and two, he was allowed to make fire come down on earth in the sight of men.
That's right.
He was allowed to do that.
That's right.
You used to fucking grunt by the bushes and caves.
That's right.
Nigga, all you got now is a shaved face with a suit on, and you
right.
accentuate your blue eyes. You gonna say something, brother?
No.
Oh.
Just
You
like-
right it though?
Yeah.
You know?
Just like Yahweh Shai said in John 19, he said, you couldn't have power at all except it was given to you by my Father.
Yep.
That's the only reason you have power.
Yep.
You know? And it says, Isaiah 31 and 1, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
And you go to the Holy One of Israel through his men, because his men guide you with the perfect mental spiritual perception if you're set up to receive it. You know, and you get that moment of enlightenment.
Right.
If it, because we just water and plant. But what we're saying is, what we're being inspired to water and plant to produce the right fruit. If not, it's just naughty figs. You know?
And it reads, neither seek the Lord.
They don't seek the Lord. They seek Edom. You know, they seek 911. They seek state troopers. You know?
Yet he, verse 2, yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers.
Good. He's gonna rise against the house of the evildoers. Can we get Isaiah 48 and start at 6.
Okay.
Well, no, you keep reading. Kradazaba, can you grab that? Or is it Isaiah 48, end from the beginning?
I think it was Isaiah 46.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Yes.
Verse 10.
So
9.
can we start at Isaiah 46 and start at 5?
Okay.
Yes, that's good.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 5. To whom will ye liken me and make me equal and compare me that we may be like? They lavish gold.
Those idols. We got to go up a little bit.
Okay.
Which chapter you on? 46?
Yes.
Okay.
Start at what's 4 say?
And even to your old age.
Nah. Let me just grab it on my phone.
Okay.
Start at 1.
Okay. Thou
Show
bowest,
yourselves, man.
thou bowest down.
Isaiah 48 and start at 8. Isaiah 46 and start at 8. Excuse me.
Okay.
Isaiah 46 and starting at 8, please.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 8. Remember this and show yourselves men.
Yep.
Bring it again to mind.
We have to bring again to our mind, we have to be men.
Right.
This is why the Spirit rebukes the woman. Because of her we all die. Adam was cursed because he hearkened to the woman. Then if you understand your position as a woman, now you understand the position of the man. So we're behind enemy lines. He's getting ready to wage, he's going to increase war. We've already been at war with him.
Yeah.
Psychological, chemical,
Yeah.
okay?
Spiritual.
He's been on us, man. And you're helping him.
Yeah.
And now it's about to be increased. So you need to understand that you gotta check your own people like with a grain of salt. You know, you can't not all skin folk is kin folk.
That's straight up, man. For real. Because Jake will turn you quick.
For Esau.
Yeah.
Why is he called the big house? He called it the big house because it's big. You gotta leave these sottish fucking traitors alone.
Yeah.
It's just their lot right now. It is what it is. You know? You don't gotta be trying to win Eve over with your black knowledge.
And she hates being called queen.
You know? You got for real, man. Now you fucking looking like Lenny Kravitz. Remember when the nigga had the long fucking...
Oh, shit.
No, American woman, stay away from me.
Man.
Eve is an...
Shells and-
Yes, the one seashell though. And Eve is an American woman, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you grounding with her,
Oh,
and you calling
man.
on your shoe. She will turn you think you turn her, she will turn your ass out.
Yes.
For
For
Satan.
the worst. Yeah, for Satan. Right.
You got to drive.
Talking about let me get some of your hair. Better leave her alone, man. Better leave her. And you got discernment. It ain't like we ain't with our women or people. But you gotta have discernment with all of it.
Right.
You know?
do. Definitely do, man.
You got to. Because Eve has confidence to rebuke you, but she loses confidence when she's speaking in front of Edom.
Yep.
I single-handedly watched black women lose this week, bowing down to Esau. And then really, when you look at it, and fuck Queen of Heaven too, man.
Yeah.
That so-called, tomorrow's supposed to be fucking Blubber Day.
They got that statue, that black woman.
Yeah, they got a big Shirley statue in Times Square.
Madness.
So they're pushing that Queen of Heaven vibration. But see, the Queen of Heaven, Eve has power in it when she's using it against Jake, but she don't have that power when she's trying to use it against Edom.
Right.
He introduced you to the Queen of Heaven. So you ain't gonna be able to use that against him. It's like you trying to, like when Tommy fought Rocky.
Right.
You're not gonna win.
Right.
I taught you everything, but I didn't teach you everything I know. You know what I mean? She's gonna be one of the biggest losers. Ain't that a TV show? It should have a
Biggest
black
loser?
woman's face on it. Let's be
Biggest
real
loser.
here.
Yep.
Biggest loser.
We gotta be real here. We gotta be real here.
It says she that is my enemy shall be trying down the streets.
You're not for the nation. Okay? And don't be in a respecter of person spirit because you're a woman and you are for your nation.
Yep.
The shoe don't fit, so why the fuck you sticking up for a bitch that it fits for her?
Yep.
You know, I don't get mad when people say nigga. You know,
Right,
my
neither.
nigga. I don't get mad.
Right, exactly.
I don't get mad when I mean,
Right.
I understand what's going on, but I'm not personally upset.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 8.
Moses asked who will stand up for the Lord, and you had Levites that killed Jake in the wilderness. Y'all gotta understand who we are as a nation and how we operate. There was laws that there was laws where you would kill your child, man.
Yeah.
You'd have to burn your daughter for being a hoe, for wearing leggings and jumping on TikTok. You'd have to burn her ass. But you mad because we talking about 2/3 that are a product of Edom? Well, you better read that law, man.
Yeah, right.
Actually stoning to death?
That's harsh, man.
That's harsh. And then imagine the brother or sister who's watching their brother or sister be put to death. That's a quiet ride home.
Yeah, right. That's sober your ass up
So
quick.
don't let IUIC fool you, man, with all them ungodly children. Meaning if they're 2/3, all you seen is cute, ungodly 2/3 babies.
Yeah.
You don't think a 2/3 baby ain't cute? Not every nigga's gonna come out with a lazy eye and a side tooth missing.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You have some pretty 2/3 babies too. Shit.
Verse 8. Remember this and show yourselves
Men, what immediately came to my mind was Jeremiah 11:14. Lift not up a cry or a prayer for them.
Right.
Don't cry for them. Don't pray for them either, man. That's how real it is. I'm judging them.
Yeah.
I'm judging them. Keep going. Meaning the Lord.
Bring it again to mind.
Remember it again, brothers. Remember it. Think about it. Righteous masculine vibration. Talking about he's in touch with his effeminates. No, he's being touched by Satan.
Right.
Come on, man. He's being touched by Satan.
We soft and shit.
O ye transgressors. Verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am power, and therefore
You can read it
none
verbatim.
else. Okay. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else.
There ain't no other God, man.
That's right.
All right, no Queen of Heaven, Ishtar. Shit, they got Easter, then Mother's Day?
Damn.
That's high level Queen of Heaven, man. Tomorrow is Blubber Day, okay? And they're gonna be out here walling, expecting devotion, expecting obedience. That's why she said, blessed the paps.
You're right.
He ain't
right.
blessing no titties. You might kiss him. He ain't blessed. Hey, let me bless the. How's your mama? How you doing? Remember? Come on, man. Come on. He don't like Will Smith. He don't know about that. But Wild Wild
yeah,
West.
I hate that fucking movie.
It's a good movie, man. Nah, keep going. To my point, see, even though we watch and we see, the Lord still gives us peace. You know, we're not through out here. You know,
Spiritual peace.
gotta have
Like
it.
you said earlier, we're not paranoid. We're on point.
Yup,
It's a big difference.
Yup.
But we're on point through the Lord, through the Spirit.
yup, and through prayer.
Right. Through faith. That's right.
I am God, and there is none like me.
That's right. No Allah, Edom. Edom ain't your God,
Right.
but you worship him which makes you a devil worshiper. That's what a devil worshiper isn't someone in a cemetery, you know, with recently dyed black hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? You might be a Satanist, but you're not a devil worshiper. Worshiping the devil is worshiping Edom.
Right.
Because Edom is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So you're worshiping the devil who the Bible speaks of. Okay?
That's why anybody will take that see him, they're gonna worship, his
The image.
Exactly.
Yep.
The image that the devil set up.
Yep.
Which the Lord gave him the power to do so.
So if you celebrate Christmas, you're a devil worshiper.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe God is white, you're a devil worshiper.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in white Eurocentric Christianity imagery, you're a devil worshiper. Okay? You're a devil worshiper. The majority of our people are, because he's been given the power to deceive.
Right.
But that's why the Apostle Paul told the brothers in Thessalonica that the spirit of mouth was going to consume this dude who's trying to show himself as God, and it sits in the temple of God.
Right.
You know? Even the Greeks try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even the wicked root, Epiphanes the Fourth, he said he was going to sit his ass on the moon. And guess what? The Lord sat his ass down on the ground.
That's right.
See? You wanted to go up? I put you down. See how the Lord operates? You said 2, it's 70. You said 30, it's 20. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, the Lord's always confounding these falsifiers.
Declaring the end from the beginning.
Predestination. This whole thing is about predestination. We are standing right here, right now. We are here through predestination. That's why we're all here, you know? But Christianity pushes free will.
Yeah.
Well, what if they accept? I don't give a shit what you accept. Some people can't accept a defeat. That don't mean they won. That's a problem. Well, they said they put a mic in the earth and they heard screams. So? You don't think they were lying? Maybe it was an underground bunker for the elites.
Right, exactly.
People be caught up on weird, deep shit.
We're speaking upon that. They got cities underground. The elites, they invested 21 trillion in to make underground cities.
As they're supposed to.
As they say, it could be more, but.
As they're supposed to.
Right.
It says they're gonna dig into hell.
Mm-hmm.
So if they dig into hell, are they sitting with Satan?
Right. You got it, bro.
Verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning
Yep.
and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Mm.
That's right.
So the judgment is going to be pleasure to the Lord.
That's right.
His pleasure to do judgment,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Okay, now from there, let's get into the slayer.
Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21, and I'm starting at verse 8. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy, and say, thus said the Lord, say a sword is sharpened, and also furbished.
What'd he say? There's a biometric tracking visa system.
Mm-hmm.
It will be on land, sea, and air.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's what he said. So we got to watch China, who's in league with the beast, even though they're going to be the wash pot, but they got the AI, social credit system. We got to see what Edom's going to do.
Yep.
But it's all centering around the MOTB.
Yep.
Okay? Lockism. They want to lock you in.
Mm-hmm.
They want isms. They want to digitally confine you, man.
Put you
Like
in prison.
like a Wi-Fi. Your
Yeah.
phone, you be in why you right here?
Exactly.
Because of why I only could if I go over here, I can't get no reception.
Exactly.
So you're in a visible prison. That's why in the plantation they didn't have to have chains on everybody.
Yep.
And it's a visible fence. But it will be a digital or electronical, but it's gonna be on a grid.
Damn.
You know?
Woo. And it says, Ezekiel 21 and verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
A sore slaughter on Jake. That's why it's Jacob's trouble.
Right.
It's gonna turn into world trouble, but the main trouble is for the people on the sign.
That's right.
It's gonna be for the Lord's people because the Lord said he's gonna do all his words will not come back void.
That's right.
You know?
And it reads,
So don't be caught up because Annalise is being chased by ICE in the street,
Right.
leaving her quinceañera.
right.
Okay? That shit is what it is, man.
Straight up.
I was laughing. I saw they had raided a Spanish club.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm glad they did it. I would have went in there. Not that we go to clubs, but we would have went in there and they'd have been demons to us.
Yeah.
So fuck y'all in your tight red dress.
Yeah.
Good. Get out there, you torta.
That's good.
They was all fucking. Hey, I'm
Good.
serious, bro. They all look regular.
Good.
But that's what needs to happen. All these average, everyday people just fucking buzzing around, they need to be checked.
Yeah.
So shout out to Edom. Shout out to Esau.
He's doing his job. He's a
Yeah.
devil.
He's doing a good job.
And it reads, verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
Because these other camps don't push Edom's gonna get his hands on 2/3.
Right, right.
These other camps make it like it's a national issue.
Right.
It says touch not my anointed. It says do my prophets no harm. So why aren't y'all pushing that 2/3 is gonna be judged?
Right.
But then you use when 2/3 are judged as a talking point to get the people riled up. Come on, man. Like, are we seeing what we're seeing? Like, is
Right.
everybody seeing what we see over here? I will not go to the White House with you, Naquam.
Well, camps like that, all they push is the sweep.
Yep.
You know, you're not building up your the congregation.
Black
You know,
excellence.
that's why going early to Ezekiel 3, they got blood in their hands.
Yep.
Because you're not warning the sheep.
Yep.
You know.
That's why they be. Let's give a hand for the sisters.
Right.
Let's give a
Right.
hand for the
Yep.
sisters. Sisters, put a 4 in the chat. You know, nah, bro. Nah. And you shouldn't want that. You shouldn't want that. You know? You should not want that. Keep going.
And it reads, it is furbished that it may glitter.
Yep, you're gonna see it. Remember, because you had mentioned Elon, Elon, oak tree Musk, eat not from every tree, right? Not only Elon, but Trump was at some national dinner, and this nigga was dancing with a sword, bro.
Yeah, I seen it.
I had to do a lesson on it.
Yeah.
But he had a sword in his hand.
Yeah, literal sword.
They're all about symbolism, you know? They got isms. They're all, right?
They got isms.
They're all about their idolatry, numerology,
Yeah.
symbolisms. They're into all that, man. Let's keep going.
And it reads, it is furbished that it may glitter.
Yep. Meaning you gonna see it. Like you see
Yes.
ice.
Yes.
You gonna see it. Section 8, you gonna see it.
Yeah, man.
And they're gonna feel it first because they're sucking from the titty.
Right.
And babies, how do they react when mother cuts the titty off? They don't like it.
Right.
They do not like being cut off from that titty.
Like you said, we read earlier in Isaiah 31, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Yep.
Destruction unto you. You're gonna
Yep.
perish because you're going right to the slayer. You know?
And you're gonna feel it first because it says they that receive benefits
Mhm.
and not known me.
Mhm.
So now when the benefits cut off, how are you gonna act now? See? How you gonna act now?
And
You know,
it-
you getting benefits in the right situation. That should be shared with the body.
Yeah.
You know?
For real, yeah.
If you a sister
Yeah.
and you're able to this and that, if it's like the right situation, I'm just saying you could work together and use the system like we were
Right.
mentioning earlier about you get 200 when you pass go, right?
Yeah.
Well, if we both put it together, that 200 turn into 400.
Yeah.
See?
Straight up, man. And it reads, Ezekiel 21 and verse 10, should we then make mirth?
Right. Should we then keep pushing IUIC marriages? Should we keep pushing these sweet publicity stunts and these interviews? Those interviews are mirth.
Yeah.
And then how did Bishop Nathaniel? How you get confounded by Moses Levy? How you get confounded by Ron Dalton?
Oh, man.
And then he went and after that, he went and got on Vocab's channel.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that shit, man. Man, now you're saying 20, 30 years. It's
Oh,
fucking
boy.
ridiculous. Definitely plugged in.
Yeah.
And it says, should we then make mirth?
No.
It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished.
So protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword.
That's right.
Because Most High kills and makes alive.
That's right.
But he's using Esau as like a bishop on the board.
Yeah.
Slice. Slice.
Straight up.
Just running through him. You know?
That Proverbs 16:4 says that the Lord has made the evil for the day. Excuse me, the Lord
Wicked.
made the wicked for the day of evil.
Yep.
You know.
And what's that?
So Esau is being used as a main tool in prophecy.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
One of the main tools, I would say.
Yep.
And it reads, verse 11, and he have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword.
Oh, it said that may be handled. Let me show you a proverb that I saw the other day. So check this out, brothers. It said a sword to be handled. Check this out. It says, when the axe came into the forest, the trees whispered, the handle is one of us.
Wow.
That's powerful,
Wow.
bro. So the trees, man, as trees walking.
Yeah.
So the trees are Jake. So if Esau sends in a Jake, they're gonna be like, don't worry. Even though it's an axe, the handle's for us.
Wow.
Nope. So let me share that with y'all.
That's a good quote right
Yeah, it's just an ancient proverb. So I said, I gotta screenshot that.
Wow.
When the axe Edom came into the forest, Jacob, the trees whispered, the handle is one of us. That's what you thought about Obama. That's what you thought about fucking Trina.
Yep.
Nicki Minaj and shit.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? You be thinking Jake's for you. No, he's not.
Hell no.
The handle has a handler. Keep going.
And it reads, verse 11, this sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
So we're seeing the slaying being presented. It's only the right situation that's gonna build up to certain, because we haven't seen no one die yet.
Right.
So they may be detaining people, but what happens when they start killing them? That's gonna change. It's gonna change the air. It's gonna change the air quality in Babylon.
Yeah.
When you start seeing Instagram, Facebook videos, because everybody's recording, and then you start seeing Jake get put down. Jake is not ready to see the woman get put down.
Hell no, they're not.
Jake is not ready to see Eve get put down, man. Or babies. That's Ezekiel 9. Slay utterly old and young.
Yes.
Made children. Come on, man. The nastiness of the scriptures is about to be presented before you. What you got?
Real quick, this is Ephesians 5:15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise,
Yep,
redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
exactly.
Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is."
Understanding what the will of the Lord is. That's what you pull out. Do you understand the will of the Lord, or are you still off black excellence and emotion? Because if you are still riding off of emotion, your little candle lit, faith and love on your wall, you're through.
True, bro.
You're done. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
It's like a same vibration with people like that.
That's that Christian vibe.
Exactly. It's a black Christian church vibration with a Hebrew Israelite twist.
That was it right there.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Adon Ratazah, you brothers and you few sincere sisters was edified through the Spirit as we were. And we just want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to our elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, Shalom.
Shalom.